My name is Kevin Krajewski, and I'll be providing you the play-by-play of the highlights of medal play here on Course 2. It's a warm and very humid evening out here, but we've got a great turnout with 30-some players, including over 25 amateurs, and a couple of new-timers this year coming out for the first time on Course 2 out south. Dave Kreider, who many of you might remember is a former city champion, coming out of retirement to play tonight, and Rick Gerard, a great player in the pro division last year, coming out to play in our newly formulated cash division this year. In just a moment, we'll head out to the course and begin showing you highlights of round number 1. All right, we're starting here on hole number 11. This is in the amateur A group. And this is Dave Kreider. Dave with a nice putt there, and will have an easy putt for his par here as he does it. And now here's Steve Lemon. And Steve looks to have lagged that. Oh, nice putt. He got it there. Thought it didn't have enough speed, but this carpet's going to play fast tonight, so we can look for some interesting putts as we watch Jim Wonderly putt here. And Jim's going to leave that just out in front of the block. Should have an easy tap in for his par as well. And he does. All right, we're here on hole 10. This is the cash division now. And this is Rick Gerard. Rick, nice to see him out playing here. And now there's Ben Craver. This hole's been newly recarpeted, so we should see some interesting putts tonight. Ooh, as we just saw there. Ben will tap that in for his 2. We're back in the amateur division now, amateur A, and this is John Filber. John having a fine season this year, having gotten both his medal and match play out here this year. And he's going to run that past the hole a little bit. We're looking at the 12th hole, usually one of the easier holes out here. And John's got his par. Now this is Jim Teal. Jim has won a tournament this year, playing in amateur B division, now up in amateur A, and he gets a nice ace there. Third member of the group is Don Breck. And Don is going to have that ball slide a little bit on him. He'll have a little work coming back for his par, but he should manage that pretty easily. And he does. We're back here in amateur B division, and we're on the 5th hole. This is a group of Matt Bohr, Nick Philpott, and Nick Parent. This is Matt Bohr putting. Matt's running up the hill here. Got a little putt coming back. And he gets it in nicely for his par. And this is Adam Kraft. And Adam's going to leave it down the hill a little bit. Carpet's probably playing pretty fast tonight, as this is undoubtedly the warmest night of the tournament this year. And Adam will be putting for a 3 here. And he gets it. This is the fifth hole, and this is Robert Moore Jr. This hole will play very fast tonight. And as you can see, Robert has to negotiate an uphill putt here. Oh, and he's running past the cup again. It's going to be a good test for the amateur and pro players here tonight to judge their speed on this hole, as this hole typically, when the weather gets warm, can be at times fairly treacherous. And Robert looks like he's going to have to see if he can manage his form. B division players, as always, working off a 5-stroke limit in their division. All of the divisions have a no-stroke limit tonight. We're back in Amateur B again. This is the twosome of Larry Booth and Gene Hostler. Larry having just putted here on the 9th hole. And he nicely gets that in for his par. And now the ever dapper dressed Gene Hostler. Gene has won a match spot out here this year, and Gene's going to have a little tough time negotiating a par on this one. This is a hole, if you don't putt it firm and don't putt it straight, it can lead to problems. And Gene's going to have a little work for his bogey here. And he gets his 3. This guy with Tim Cannell here. This is the group of Tim Cannell and Nick Philpott. Amateur B play continuing here on hole number 9. Tim got a little bit of a tough putt here for a par. Oh, but makes a beautiful effort. Nicely done. And now this is Nick Philpott. Nick has played in a few tournaments this year. And Nick's pulled it off to the left side as well, and he too will have a difficult putt here to make par. And he's running that past and down. He's going to have to... And that'll be the end of the first round highlights. In just a moment, we'll head back into the clubhouse and give you our leaders after 18 holes of play. For one round of play, here are your leaders in the respective divisions. In the cash division, we have a 3-way tie between Bruce Heron, Brian Johnson, and Brian Summers, all shooting excellent 5 under par 31s in the first round. In the chase for the medal, in Amateur A, Steve Lemon leads with a fine 4 under par 32. And leading Amateur B to one round of play, Kevin Jackson with an even par 36. In just a moment, we'll head out to the course and begin showing you highlights of round number 2. All right, we'll begin round number 2 in B play, Amateur B play. This is the group of Matt Brennenberger, Andy Teal, and Jim Hopkins. Matt and Jim, new players out here tonight. And Matt will have a little work here to tap in for his bogey 3. Nicely done. Next player in our group is Andy Teal. Andy, like his dad Jim, has been out here playing a number of tournaments this year, playing pretty well. And he's going to leave this putt out to the left just a little bit. And Andy knocks that in for his par. And now here's Jim. And Jim is going to hit that left triangle and leave himself a long, fairly difficult putt for par here. Let's see how he does. And he's got it coming through, but it's going to leave it out to the left as well. And Jim will tap that in for his bogey 3. Okay, we're in amateur B division. This is the 14th hole, and this is Larry Greenberg. Oh, and Larry's going to leave it up on that hill. Not a difficult par putt, but you just want to make sure you hit it straight at the hole. And Larry didn't do it. He's going to have it down the hill here. And looks like Larry will have to tap in for his bogey, double bogey 4. Next player in the group is Andy Oblinger. Andy, a new player out here. And Andy has it down the hill. Fairly straight uphill putt from there, though. Ooh, just missed. Well, maybe. Didn't quite come back for him, and you'll have to tap that in for 3. And the third member of the group is the leader in the B flight after one round play. This is Kevin Jackson. Kevin, like his dad and brother, have played out here a number of times this year. Steadily improving play from week to week. Oh, and he nicely puts that in for a par. Let's give you one of these. We're over here on the 13th hole. This is in the amateur A division. This is Jim Wonderly II. And Jim puts that in for his par. We're over here now on the 14th hole. And this is the group of Dave Kreider, Jim Wonderly II, Steve Lemon, who's currently our leader through one round of play in amateur A. And Dave with a bit of a tester coming uphill here on the 14th. Tries to bank it off the back, and beautifully done for his par. Dave, a former city champion out here playing his first tournament in a long time. Now this is Steve Lemon, our leader after one round of play. And Steve facing a similar putt to Dave's, a little bit shorter, but on the same line. Steve just told us he's going to give it a whack straight at the hole. We'll see what happens here. Ooh, and it breaks off just a little bit. That's the danger of coming up this hill, but it's still rolling. Yep. He'll have to tap that in for his bogey 3. Amateur B division. This is the group of Adam Kraft. And Adam will run it past the hole a good ways. This will be a very difficult putt for par from back here. And Adam gives it a good try, but he's going to leave that out just a little bit. He'll have to see if he can tap this in for his bogey 3, and he does. Robert Moore Jr. It's Robert Moore Jr. And he's going to have this putt in the cup. Nice putt by Robert. And now this is Matt Bohr. Matt has been out playing steadily out here, improving from week to week. And Matt will see if he can nuzzle this in. No, it's going to stay out to the left a little bit. It looks like he'll have a straight putt in for his par, and he does. Well, now in amateur B division, this is Robert Moore Sr., the The second hole, along with a number of holes tonight, having been newly recarpeted and getting some interesting bounces as the ball comes through the putt-putt symbols. Robert with pretty much a straight putt in here. And he nicely gets that into the cup for his two. Now this is Nick Parent. Nick, like his brother Andy, had been playing steadily out here. Oh, Nick gets a little bad break there as he hits one of the letters. And we'll have to see if he can bank this into the cup. Makes a good try, but he'll have to settle for his bogey 3. Inadvertently tapped it there, but no penalty, and he knocks it in for his 3. Now this is the new player here, Steve. This is Steve Bonner. And Steve's going to leave this out behind the cup, about where Robert had it. And Steve will line it up, and he has his par. Staying in Amateur B division, this is the group of Dan Jackson, Roger Eyre, and Kelly Hupton. Oh, and Dan with a very nice putt there for his ace here on the first hole. This hole, too, newly recarpeted recently, and allowing for a lot of interesting putts. And now we'll watch Kelly putt here. Kelly, our youngest contestant out here tonight at age 6. Nice to see a female contestant out here. We've had a couple this year. And Kelly's going to leave this out, I believe, a little bit to the right of the hole. And Kelly nicely knocks that in for his 2. And the third member of our group here, this is Roger Eyre. Roger, as you see, a left-handed player. And Roger's going to start this out right of the cup as well. Let's see if it comes back. He's going to have that little short putt for his par. And he nicely taps it in. We're here on the 16th hole. This is an Amateur A group. Excuse me, 17th hole. And this is the putt of Don Breck. And Don knocks that in for his 2. And now we'll watch John Filber. John steadily playing this year, emerged as one of the best amateur players. He's got both his medal and match out here this year. And John's going to leave this putt out a little bit to the left as well. Carpets, as I say, playing awful fast tonight, as we are having some of our warmest conditions of the year. And now this is Jim Teal. Jim recently moved up to Amateur A division after some very good sound play in B division. And he'll knock that in for his par. We're now in the cash division, and this is Rick Gerard. And Rick will have this little putt for par. He knocks it in. And now Ben Craver. Ben's got this looking like it's on. Oh, going to break off just a little bit. Couldn't hold the line.
I always do that. Same putt every turn.
And Ben knocks that in for his par. We're here on hole 15, staying in the cash division. And this is the group of our leaders through the first round of play. This will be Brian Summers leading off. Brian shot a new course record out here on the 22nd of June with an opening round of 27. Brian taking a moment to look this putt over. Ooh, and he's going to run that pass. Will it stay up? Yep, it stays on the ridge. And he'll knock that in for his 3. Now here's Brian Johnson. Brian has played steady and at times spectacular out here this year, although he's had times struggle on this course. Brian with about the same line as Brian Summers, only a little bit shorter putt. Let's see how he does here. And he knocks that in for his par. Now the third of our co-leaders. This is Bruce Heron. And Bruce is going to leave that in the corner as well. Players combating both the heat and humidity as well as the course tonight. And weather conditions making a nice challenge of things. And he knocks that safely in for his par. Going back into amateur B division here now. This is the twosome of Gene Hostler and Larry Booth. Gene will lead off here on the 15th hole. And like the other players before him, he's left it out to the right of the hole. Gene tells us there's been a streak of 5 straight aces till this hole, but he nicely knocks that par in. This course arguably one of the most difficult courses in the city. Oh, and Larry gets a bad break there. I had it right at the cup, just a little bit hard. Now he'll face a bit of a challenging uphill putt here. Holding the line, all the key to this putt. And has he got enough? Yes, nicely done. All right, this is the group of Tom Cannell and Nick Philpott. Tom leading off here. Ooh, and Tom hits the hole, coming back, and he leaves himself a short little par putt. Had a nice break with the ball spinning off the back rail there. And he taps it in for his par. And now we'll watch Nick Philpott. And Nick's going to have to put a little juice to that. He's going to leave it down the hill. Got a work cut out for him on this one. And he runs that pass. Well, it's it. It's it. Yeah, just barely. He gets it on the edge of the hill there. And Nick having a little bit of struggle here. And he knocks it in for his 4. They're over on the 6th hole. Kelly, our youngest player out here tonight. Kelly's going to leave that a little short. See how she does with this uphill putt. And she's going to run this past the cup just a little bit. Kelly taking her time on this putt, trying to keep the mosquitoes off her. They're out in force tonight. Oh, and it's going to go down the hill on her a little bit. Kelly's playing partners, Dan and Roger, said she's done pretty well tonight. It's our youngest competitor. She's going to run this back in the corner. And with the stroke limit, Kelly will pick this up.
Start at the end of the second round.
Start at the end of the round?
End of the second round.
And that'll conclude highlights of the second round of medal play tonight. In just a little bit, we'll go out back onto the course, but for now we'll head back to the clubhouse and give you the leaders after 36 holes of play. All right, we'll give you the scores after 2 rounds of play now. Leading in the cash division after 2 rounds of play is Brian Johnson. Brian's sitting at a fine 13 under par 59. In the chase for medal, leading in amateur A division after 2 rounds and continuing the lead is Steve Lemons with a fine 4 under par 68. And in B division, we have a new leader, actually 2, as we have a tie between newcomer Andy Oblinger and Gene Hostler, both sitting at 1 over par 73. In just a moment, we'll head out and film highlights of the 3rd round of medal play. And highlights of the 3rd round of medal play here on hole number 10 in amateur A division. This is the group of Jim Wonderly, Dave Kreider, and Steve Lemon. And Jim starting off with a fairly ugly effort here on the 10th hole, as he'll have a major effort at trying to get this par. And now he hopes it stops to give him a shot for his bogey. This hole, with recarpeting and with conditions tonight, it's playing very fast. And Jim here having a little bit of a tester for his double bogey now. So he gets it to drop for a 4. And now Steve Lemon. Steve is our leader through 2 rounds of play. We'll try to follow the leaders here for a while in each respective division. Oh, and Steve nicely gets that to drop. And now we'll watch Dave Kreider. Dave currently in 2nd place with a fine 69 through 2 rounds of play. Oh, and Dave, Dave's facing a tough putt here. Dave, like Steve, former city champion, he knows how to play this game. As you just saw there, nicely done first par. Following his ace on 11, this is Steve Lemon, or excuse me, following his ace on 10, this is Steve leading off on the 11th hole. Steve sitting at 4 under par as we begin play in the 3rd round. And Steve gets a bit of an ugly slide there, and he's going to face himself a very difficult par putt here. This 11th hole, since it's been redesigned with the block in front of the hole, has certainly seen its share of bogeys throughout the years. As good shots and occasionally the bad ones are punished. Let's see what Steve tries to do here. Looks like he's going to go for the bank shot. And it's going to slide past. So oftentimes that's what you see happen here. Get it away from the block away, as this can be a very difficult putt. And Steve will knock that in for his 3. And now Dave. Dave getting that great par putt to drop there on the 10th hole. And Dave looks like it's got it going pretty good, but it's not going to get over, just in front of the cup. And Dave will have that to tap in for his par. Nicely done. And now Jimmy. Jimmy trying to shake off that double bogey on the last hole. And Jim's hoping this one will get over a little bit. And slides, and he'll have that out in front of the cup. Get it safely in for his par. And he does. Leading off here on the 12th hole, this is Dave Kreider. 12th hole, as I said earlier, one of the easier holes on this course, as Dave just shows. Pretty good threesome here, as we have two former city champions among this group. And Jimmy Wonderly rapidly moving up as one of the best amateur players. So we watch him putt now. Oh, and Jim slides a little bit. He's going to have a little tap for par here. And he safely knocks it in. And now we'll watch Steve putt. Steve needing to see if he can get an ace going here or two. This is a tough course, but you can't let up on it. And Steve nicely knocks that in for an ace. We're over here on the 15th hole, staying in the now amateur B flight. This is the group of Larry Greenberg, Kevin Jackson, and Andy Oblinger. This is Larry Greenberg attempting his par. And Larry knocks it in. It's Kevin Jackson putt here. Kevin with a nice looking putt. No, it slides past the hole a bit. A lot of putts tonight coming over on this right side as ball sliding a bit off the rail. Oh, and Kevin slides that past the cup. He's going to have to work a little bit here and get this bogey putt going here. And he does. And now our co-leader after 2 rounds of play in amateur B flight. This is a newcomer, Andy Obliger. And Andy too will have a straight putt over here on the right side. And he nicely taps that in for his 2. And Larry Greenberg will again lead off. 16th hole, playing pretty fast tonight. A lot of putts being missed over here on the left side. Larry hit that a little hard, but should have a pretty straight putt in for his par. Oh, and Larry gets a little bit of a robbery there. He'll have to work on tapping this in for his bogey 3. And he gets it to drop. And now our co-leader, Andy Oblinger. And he's got it underway. He's going to hit this a little hard, and it's going to come back a ways. Leaves himself with about a 7 or 8 foot putt for par. It's pretty much a straight putt, though. And he nicely knocks it in. And now our first round leader, Kevin Jackson. Kevin slipped a little bit in that second round, shooting a 39 in the second round. And I'll leave this out to the left, but should be easily tapped in for his par. And he does. 9th hole. This is the cash division, and this is our overall leader, Brian Johnson. Brian with a fine 13 under par, 59 through 2 downs to play. He knocks that in for his par. And now this is Brian Summers. And Brian, ooh, had a little bit of a scare there. He wasn't sure he was going to get it through that rail. This is one hole that can get away with you if you don't hit it firm enough. He knocks that in for his par.
He's the culprit.
All right, we're back in the Amateur B division. This is the group of Larry Booth and Gene Hostler, and Larry is going to knock this over into the fence. A little optical placed on this hole. And we'll see if Larry can navigate through this. Seen a lot of putts from this area tonight, as the players have struggled with both the heat and fast carpet conditions. Mosquitoes, my cameraman says as well. It is a very hot night tonight, folks. And Larry's going to look like he's going to have to work to get this double bogey now.
Crap all that carpet there.
Larry doing a little landscaping here as he lines up his putt. Yeah, he'll knock that in for his 4. And now the other co-leader in B division through 2 rounds of play. This is Gene Hostler. Now, and Gene gets a break there. It looked like it was going into the post, and he struggles through on that one. Gene knows he's a little lucky with that one. Now see if he can take advantage of that break. And he does. He knocks it safely in. Staying here in the B flight with our co-leader, Gene. And Gene just couldn't get that one to have enough speed, and it's going to hang up there next to the triangle. He'll get relief to take this straight out to the hole. And he'll tap it in for his 2. And now Larry. And Larry nicely knocks it in for his ace. Here in the cash division now, and this is over on hole 12. This is Bruce Heron. Bruce trailing Brian Johnson coming into this round. But that'll speed things up with an ace there.
Leg. 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 Hole 17, 17, hole 3.
And now your leader in cash division. Brian Johnson here. His playing partner Bruce says they're tied as they stand in here in the middle of their 3rd round. And Brian's got a nice ace there.
You say leg? Legs on course 3.
And now Brian Summers, the 3rd member of our group here. Oh, and Brian gets a bit of a kick here. Is it going to go? No, it's going to be just short.
Hi, Larry.
Okay, we're back in the B division, following the twosome of Larry Booth and Gene Hostler. And Larry will lead off here on the 12th hole. And Larry drills that one into the cup for a nice ace. Larry, kind of a camera player here as of late. And now Gene Hostler. And Gene's going to run that past just a little bit. Gene saying he hit that a little bit late and tap it in for his par. All right, we're here on the 18th hole. And this will be the threesome in Amateur A of Jim Teal, John Filber, and Don Breck. Jim has won a tournament this year in Amateur B division, having moved up recently into Amateur A. Jim, one of our veteran players out here. And now we'll watch John Filber. 18th, one of the easier holes on this course. mostly an aceable hole by the top pros and amateurs. And John's gonna just slide that past the cup a little bit.
Get over par, it's not good, honey. You at 70, John? You at 70? No, 73 going down. 70. Nobody heard. No, I think somebody was. That's all right.
Jim. And John will knock that in for his par. And now the third member of the group, Don Breck. Don's going to play the straight putt. Oh, hammered at it, and he left it back here towards the back rail. Fairly easy, but sometimes awkward stance here, but an easy putt, as he shows. This is the amateur B group of Nick Parent, Steve Bonner, and Robert Moore Sr. And leading off will be Nick Parent. Nick's going to slide this ball past the cup a ways. And he'll have a bit of a lengthy putt coming back here for his par. This hole at times difficult to keep it off that rail, and that's the key to getting an ace here. Now our newcomer here tonight, Steve Bonner. Steve playing well through his first tournament. He'll touch that rail just a little bit, and he'll be left out with a fairly lengthy par putt as well. Will it go? Yep, he gets it to drop. Nicely done. And the third member of their group, this is Robert Moore Sr. Robert's played well in a number of the tournaments he's played in this year. Oh, he gets that butt to slide just a little bit on him. I thought it was going to stay in that corner, and fortunately kicks out. Pretty much straight uphill putt here, though. Robert caught that rail a little bit coming towards the cup, and he's going to have now about a 7-footer for his bogey. And he drops it in. Okay, staying in B, this is Roger Eyre. Roger playing in his first tournament of the season. Roger, as you can see, a lefty. We have a number of left-handed players out here tonight. Roger nicely works that into the hole for his par. And now this is Dan Jackson. Dan, like his son Kevin and his other son Chad, playing in a number of tournaments this year. And he's going to leave this out about the same distance as Roger had it. And he gets it to drop. And now the third member of our group, this is Kelly Upton. Kelly, following that opening round 67, shot a 59 in the second round. Good job, Kelly. Cut 8 strokes off of her first score round. And Kelly nicely works that in for a par. All right, and that will conclude the highlights of our third round of play. In just a moment, we'll go in and show you the winners of medal play tonight in both cash, amateur A, and B division, and interview our winners. We're with our winners now tonight in the cash division and the B division. On my left is the winner in the cash division, an overall winner tonight, Bruce Heron. And on my right, the winner in B flight tonight, Gene Hostler. We'll talk to him in just a moment. First, Bruce, congratulations, a good tournament tonight.
Thanks.
Tell me about conditions out here. We never quite had it this hot this year up to this point, and I'm sure the carpets had several of the holes being new as they had to give a little bit of sticky play out there. How'd you feel conditions were?
I like putting when it's real hot. It seems to bother other people more than me, so I putted better than I normally do tonight, so they weren't bothering me.
I know you said you started out with a little trouble there with that bogey on the first hole, but you really turned it on after that. Tell me about your final round there where you tied Brian with the 27 for a course record.
Well, the last round I finally got a couple aces to go on the front. I didn't get in any trouble. I made 4 aces and had 14 going in the back, and the back 9 can, you know, it's been a little tough this year, but it's still possible to shoot 12, 13 on the back, and I went out and got a 13, so that was pleasing.
Oh, you did great. You've got 2 in a row now, and course 3 looms in the distance here. So we see Brian Johnson sitting over here on the rail. We've called that his course. You think you're going to be able to bag 3 in a row next week?
I'm pretty confident I could beat Brian by 15 or 20. No, Brian, we played that. How many times have we played that over there? Twice or 3 times? He wins by about 15 strokes every time.
It's been dubbed the Brian Johnson Memorial, but
we'll have a go at him, though.
Well, Bruce, again, a great tournament tonight, and congratulations for tying that record on the final round, and look forward to great action from you coming weeks.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Talk to our winner now in B division, Gene Hostler. And Gene, got a match spot earlier in the year, and now you got yourself a medal in the B flight. Got to feel pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I didn't expect that on course 2. I have trouble with course 2, and tonight I just got a streak going, and at one point in the second round I had 5 aces in a row, and it surprised everybody, including myself.
Well, you had to go up against some new competition. You had a new player out here you were against, and going into sudden death, no less, in that final round. Tell me about that. How did you approach that as you went into it?
Well, Andy is a lefty, and I figured I didn't have anything to lose. And if I made it, I made it. If I didn't, I didn't. And he went 2 up on me early, and then I finally caught him, and then it was nip and tuck all the way down the line on the back 9, and I finally aced 18, and I didn't even know it went in. And that was the difference, 1 stroke.
Well, I asked Bruce earlier about the course conditions tonight. We've had, as you know, very hot and humid weather all week long, and tonight being certainly no exception. How did you think conditions were out there, and did it affect your play any?
Well, the mosquitoes came out after it got dark, and that was a little upsetting.
I think we all got chunked up by that.
Yeah. But other than that, I thought everybody else blew up, and I didn't. And so I was 1 over par, but then that was good enough, so I wasn't too unhappy with it.
Well, again, Gene, a great tournament tonight, and congratulations for winning your flight. And again, like we told Bruce, look forward to great play from the rest of the year for you.
Yeah, finally did it.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We're now going to talk to the winner of A flight and the medalist tonight. That'd be Steve Lemon, who's in on my right side. And just a moment, but let's talk first to the runner-up in amateur A flight tonight, a man who's no stranger to Channel 10 viewers, our color and play-by-play commentary most of the year, Dave Kreider. And Dave, this is your second tournament out after self-retirement there for a long while. Came through with a very respectable round tonight. How do you feel about your play tonight?
Well, Kevin, I can play a lot better than what I had tonight and the other night. I found in the last couple nights I'm still capable of acing a lot of holes, but unless you get out here and you practice, any long deuces I'm going to have problems with, because you can watch them on TV all you want, but until you actually go out and play, it's a whole different story, and I just took too many threes tonight.
Brian Summers, I know earlier in the year when he won on this course, said that this is a course you can't let up on your play. It's a course that can eat you alive, I think is what he said at one point. And, you know, this coming after a long retirement period and coming back into competitive play for the first time in a long while, Dave, did you approach this with any particular game plan?
Well, Kevin, yeah, I kind of did. Quite a few of these holes on this course, they really bother me, and I was trying to lag up and play conservative, and there were a couple holes I thought I'd really have some problems with. As it turned out, the holes I had some problems with were the holes that I should easily have made or at least deuced, and that pretty much cost things for me. But yeah, you're right. A lot of holes I played very conservatively because I was afraid of what the deuce putts might look like if I missed the hole.
Well, Dave, again, you did very well, and I appreciate the opportunity to jump here in front of the camera for a change. Have to admit it's quite a bit of different pace from being out there playing, but hope you get the opportunities to come out and play again in the future and give all these youngsters a chance to show how to play this game. So, again, a great tournament tonight, Dave.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Okay, now I'm with the winner of the 8th amateur flight, the medalist tonight, Steve Lemon. And Steve, this bag's both the medal and the match for you now on the year. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Yes, Kevin, I really do. It's a good feeling. I've rarely had them all four bagged up this early.
Steve, I asked the other players about the conditions out here, and you play pretty well under these fast conditions. Like Dave and Bruce, you're a veteran player, and you played in all types of weather. Did you think this was going to affect your play at all tonight?
Yeah, I thought it would. The concrete was expanded more and all that good stuff and changed the way the ball rolled, and you had to really be careful. And as you can see at home, we're kind of keeping our hands busy smacking skeeters tonight, so we were having a lot of fun playing with the mosquitoes and the course.
Well, Steve, now that you got your spots, you're going to be concentrating on looking at the course and city championships. Have you got any particular game plan as you go throughout the rest of the year here?
Well, I'd like to win city one more time in my lifetime, so that's the goal every year now, is to get things around and get ready for city and then try to get another city tournament under my belt.
Okay, well, you got a good start with the win tonight and your match play victories early on, so again, congratulations for a great tournament tonight, Steve.
Thank you, Kevin.
And there are your winners for the medal play round tonight. In just a little bit, we're going to head out onto the course and show you highlights of the semifinal and finals of match play this evening. First of our semifinal matches tonight, this is Jim Teal versus Jim Wonderly, and Jim Teal, as he steps in, is one up here. John, got some pretty good semifinal matches here. You looking for any surprises out of this?
Well, I really can't say that I am. This particular hole we're seeing now is makeable, but you want to be careful you don't take a 3 on it because it can sometimes get pretty tricky.
Yes, we'll see what Jim Wonderly does here. Needs to make this to stay only one down, and he does. John, as they step in on 12 here, this is generally a very easy hole, although it has had some problems tonight.
Well, for me personally, it's not nearly as easy as it used to be, and this is something I think you can say concerning this whole course, basically. But you have to hit the ball at the right spot off the left rail, and with the correct speed, and you'll be rewarded with an ace.
Okay, and we'll see if that's what Jim Wonderly can get here as he tries to draw even. And does. 13th hole, and Jim Wonderly has drawn this match even. And he's not going to get that to slide over. He'll tap it in for his par. John, this back nine can be very challenging, and this course, as you know, is very difficult. Look for one of these players to break out here.
Well, there are a couple different philosophies concerning how to putt this course in general. Some say that you must be aggressive and go for aces, not be afraid of the course, and others say you should be conservative and watch your step.
Okay, and we'll see what Jim Teal does here as he takes a one-mat hole lead again. Makes a nice ace there. And Jimmy Wonderly now needing to make this to stay only one down. Oh, nicely done. Final match of the evening. This is Rick Gerard and Roger R. Rick putting first. And John, it's nice to see Rick out here again after a long absence. Look for him to be very competitive in this match.
Well, I look for him to be competitive too. He's been away for a good part of the summer going to school and putting in Terre Haute. And he's always been an excellent match putter. So I would look for him to make a real strong bid to win this match.
Okay, and they have the fourth. We go to the fifth. Off here on the fifth hole. Oh, he gets a terrible slide there. John, this is one hole tonight, as it is with many nights, difficult putting hole, but I imagine with the heat tonight, this has been especially difficult.
Well, I really didn't notice that it was any more difficult tonight than it's ever been. I think it's one of the toughest holes in the city. Speed is critical here. It certainly can be aced, but the critical thing is if you miss your ace to have it set up on top of the plateau there, because if it goes long or if it rolls back and is short, then you've got a tough deuce putt on your hands.
Okay, and Rick's trying to get the bogey here, and it looks like he's going to have to settle for a double bogey, as Roger concedes in that. Roger now with an opportunity to go up a hole here. And he's got a nice looking putt right in the cup. Stand in here on the sixth hole as Roger will lead off after that beautiful ace on the fifth. This match is all even up to this point. Oh, and he hits that a little hard and runs it down the hill. John, we were talking earlier that Rick, as we watched Roger putt here, that Rick's been away for a while, and even though he knows these putts, with new carpet and conditions being what they are, you think he might be a little tentative coming out in these holes.
Well, I know I certainly would be, but I think that Rick is the kind of putter that can adjust real quickly to changing conditions.
As they have that hole. We'll watch him now on the seventh hole. Again, this match all even to this point. Roger putting first. Oh, and it won't kick over for him. This hole has certainly been one of the more difficult holes to get to drop in recent weeks. Oh, and Roger is looking at difficult bogey putt now. John, this hole has certainly changed in complexion from earlier years.
Well, it certainly has. It looks like the same hole, but it doesn't putt like the same hole. So some years back, it was an ace hole, and you could ace it fairly frequently. But now it's really testy.
As we watch a nice ace by Rick to go one up. Okay, we're into the finals of match play tonight. Our two finalists are on the left, Rick Gerard, and on the right, Jim Teal. Gentlemen, if you'll shake hands, we'll begin this match. John, we got two veteran players here as we stand in on the first hole. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm really looking forward to this match. Jim putted in my group earlier in medal play and had a pretty good round. And of course, I've known Rick and have seen him putt for many years. So I would have to think that Rick would have an advantage here, even though he has not putted in a while. But we'll just have to wait and see. It should be a good close match.
Okay, and Rick starting out a little trouble here. Looks like he's going to have to settle for a bogey attempt here as he nails it. Jim now with a golden opportunity to go up one hole here at the start. And he will. And Teal has a one-hole lead as we go on to the second hole. And John, I'd have to agree. I think this is going to be an excellent match. You got two players that play relatively very quick, especially Rick. He's an aggressive player when he gets out, and should be an exciting match tonight.
Well, this is one hole in which we see a new carpet this evening, so I haven't seen an ace on this hole yet. So. Is that right?
And Jim Teal will lead off here on the third hole. He is one up as we stand in here. And his putt's underway. He's going to leave it just a little short, and Rick will give him his two. John has started to say Rick is a fast player. Do you think that is going to have any advantage here early on?
Well, I think Rick is a real aggressive match putter. I mean, I think he really prefers match to metal. But at the same time, I see him having trouble here, so I guess his long layoff may be affecting him.
Okay, we stand in here on the 4th hole, and Jim Teal now has a 2-hole lead. And Jim didn't quite hit that. John, a lot of players having trouble, I'm sure, with this putt tonight, with conditions the way they are. Maybe a little tentative putting here.
Well, the first rule in putting this hole is not to leave the ball short, just like Jim did. He'll tap that in for a 3. And that takes pressure off of Rick here, and so let's see if he can ace it.
As his putt's underway, and he's got it on line. Come back? Nope, he's going to leave that out. Settle for this par, and this match is now back to 1. Rick steps in here as Jim is 1 up, coming here onto the 5th hole. Oh, and Rick is hit this ball. John, this one, like the 4th hole again, seeing a number of tentative putts on the evening on this hole.
Well, speed is crucial here, and like I said earlier, you have to get the ball up on that plateau if you don't ace it, or else you're in for a real rough, long deuce putt.
Okay, and we'll see what Rick can do here to get this bogey done. Oh, nice putt from back behind there. Okay, Jim with an opportunity now to build his lead back up to 2 holes. And he barely hit that, but got it to stay on the ridge. But he'll knock it in, and he'll go 2 up. 6th hole, he's up 2. His putt's underway. And he'll leave that.
Up there, what was that? He got it.
He'll tap that in for his par.
No, it was a big one.
And now Rick. And Rick will make that attempt. And this match will stay 2 up. So we watch Jim Teal putt here on 7. Oh, and a nice putt. A little pressure on Rick here, John, as they approach the turn. Rick not trying to fall 3 behind you.
Well, it's going to be up to Rick to really start making aces here, and that's not the way to do it right there.
Okay, and Jim goes 3 up. Jim 3 up as we start here on the 8th hole. And he hit that a little bit hard and late and is drawing it out a little ways for his par. And he gets it. Okay, now Rick trying to cut this lead a little bit. Oh, and that's going to slide past the cup, but Jim concedes the putt. First here on 9, he's 3 up as we play the 9th hole. And Jim will have that conceded for his par. And now Rick trying to draw within 2 here. And it looks like he'll make the turn 3 down. First here on the 10th hole, he's 3 up as we start the back 9 and slide that off a little bit. John said earlier that Rick might be a little bit tentative and a little bit rusty as he hasn't played these courses in a while. He's got to get something going here.
Well, this is the time to start right now. But both putters hit the ball, bank the ball too high up on the triangle. You have to get it within an inch of that left side in order to get your ace.
Okay, Jim will remain 3 up here as he putts first here on 11. And he can't get it to slide over. I've seen a lot of putts like that tonight on this hole, John.
Well, listen, I'd take a 2 on this hole anytime and be happy with it. You can get bogey on this hole if you get behind the block, and especially if you're not well versed in how to deuce it from behind there. So 2 is not bad on this hole.
And Rick cuts the lead down to 2. Rick will putt first here on the 12th. And the lead is now down to 2 holes. Rick taking a little time here. As we said earlier, this is his first tournament in a long time out here. And he gets it to drop. And now Jim seeing if he can hold his lead here. No, he'll drop another stroke, and Rick is drawn within 1 here on the 13th hole, and Rick is drawn this in 1. Johnny might make this a match yet.
Well, if anybody can, it's Rick, and I look for Rick to really pull all the stops out here and try to get as many aces as he can.
Okay, we'll see what he can do with this par attempt. And he gets it to drop. Jim now with an opportunity to build his lead back up to 2. Got his putt underway. It's coming in towards the hole. Will it have enough? Nope, it'll be a little short. And this match will stay 1 up. Rick steps in here 1 down as we start the 14th hole. And he gets it. Good hole for most of the aces or top amateurs and pros here, John.
Yeah, it's a hole that you should ace, and Rick is really beginning to look like the Rick of old here now.
As he is drawing this match even as we come to the 15th. Here on the 15th hole, this match is now all even as Rick had aced 14 and Jim having missed. Jim concedes that. John, if you're Jim right now, you'd have to think you got to make a couple.
Well, if I was Jim, I would have to be fighting off feelings that I'm beginning to lose my touch here. But he can't do that. He has to remain aggressive and just concentrate on 1 hole at a time and try to make as many aces as he can.
The 16th hole, this match is all even as Rick will putt first, and like so many putts tonight, this one is going to break off to the left. But he'll have that short one to have the par, and it's conceded. And now Jim, looking to get an ace. What? Nope. This match stays even. Chop, either the player can make this. They can really get the advantage here.
Yeah, this is 1 hole that you should ace. Now Rick just misses on the right side. So now we see Jim with an opportunity to break out of this stalemate a little bit here.
As Rick knocks his par in. Now Jim trying to get the ace here and take a 1-hole lead with 1 to play. But he can't get it to drop either. And in here on the 18th hole, this match is all even as these players prepare to putt on 18. Rick goes first, and he'll have a little groundwork for his par. Safely gets it, and now we'll watch Jim. Jim's got it underway, and he's going to leave it out to the right. This match will look like it's going into sudden death here. And it will as Jim putts and taps in. This match looking as every bit as much we advertised. 2 great competitors here.
Well, Rick has done what he's had to do here to get back into the match. And so what we have now is a brand new match. And there's really nothing more exciting and match play than extra holes, and so we can just sit back and enjoy this.
Enjoy it we will as we watch Jim putt here on the first hole. And this sudden death is over. Jim drills it in, and Jim Teal is going to be our match play winner tonight. We're here with our finalists in match play tonight in what was a very exciting, turned out to be sudden death match play. Ken, we'll talk to our runner-up now in the match play tonight, to Rick Gerard. And Rick, it's good seeing you out here. It's been a while, and great medal in match play tonight. What's your thoughts on the game tonight?
After shooting a 105 in the medal portion of the tournament tonight, I came out and I decided I better do something in match play first round, and I came out and played decent in match play and got all the way to the finals, and then we played sudden death there, and I played 4 matches nonstop in the match. And with the heat the way it is tonight, it's really exhausting out here.
Yeah, it has been taxing on the players. You fell 3 strokes behind, or excuse me, 3 holes behind early in the match, and Jim is a very aggressive player like you. What did you think in terms of having to get back into this match? Any strategy as you made that turn?
I had been behind in every match tonight that I'd played, and every time I'd always made up the strokes in the back 9, so I figured if I could be at least, if I could have a minimum of being 3 down going into the back 9, I'd have a chance of coming back and tying it up on the back.
Well, you did a great job in getting it tied up and sending it into sudden death, and I thought you had a good putt there on 1, but didn't have the fortunes to have it drop, and Jim did. So again, we'd like to congratulate you on a great tournament tonight, and hope we see you out here again before the year's over with. All right, now we'll talk to our winner in match play tonight. This is Jim Teal, and Jim, this is getting to be familiar territory for you. You've been in this spot in recent weeks with medal, and now with match. You had a great competitor in Rick tonight.
Yeah, he was pretty tough. I noticed he was tearing up the back 9 during medal play, so I wanted to be up as much as I could at the turn. And actually, I'm just pretty lucky to get through the back 9 because I haven't played it very well all night long.
Now, this is a course that Brian Summers said several weeks ago that you can't let up on it, and I think that's a good way of sort of characterizing this course. What's your approach to this course? You like to play it aggressive, or kind of play it halfway?
Jeez, I'm still trying to figure it out. I play it half real good, and with a couple of real stinkers every round, it seems. The hard holes are easily identifiable, and you'd know to concentrate on those so as not to make the big mistake there. And then there's a couple of holes that aren't quite as recognizable as being tough that'll jump up and get you if your concentration isn't there. And that's what happened to me all night.
Well, you got your concentration there at the end, and rallied and got the sudden death win tonight. And I believe you now have what, medal and match, or is it? Yeah. So you're doing real good out here. What's your thoughts as you look on for the season? You're going to prepare for course championships now and get a good run out for those?
Yeah, I guess. We'll see how the next few weeks go. As far as coming out here, I'm not sure I'll be able to make every tournament, but it's nice having both the spots here out south. I don't have any spots out north yet, but yeah, I'm kind of excited about the course championships.
Well, as you should be. You played real well, and we hope to see future success for you. And again, congratulations on a great tournament tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Before we wrap up tonight, just want to briefly recap our action for the evening. As you just saw, a very exciting sudden death match play in which Jim Teal defeated Rick Gerard 1-up. Earlier on in the evening in the amateur A and B divisions, Steve Lemon came on to win medal play to gain his medal spot out here at the South Course. An exciting runner-up finish in that group as Dave Kreider came out of retirement and putted on course 2 tonight and did real well. And in the B flight tonight, Gene Hostler, in what seemed to be a night of sudden death, came on to beat Andy Oblinger in sudden death to win the B flight. We'd like to thank our people who have helped sponsor our tournaments this year, Wendy's and wish that they'll look forward to their continued sponsorship of this highly successful tournament. We'd like to again thank all the players for coming out this evening on what was indeed a very hot and humid and sometimes torturous evening for us all. But on behalf of Mike, our cameraman and producer, and Dave Kreider, who graciously allowed me the mic tonight, this is Kevin Krajewski, wishing you all to come out and enjoy the tournaments. Remember, we start tournament play at 7 p.m. out here Thursday nights, with practice beginning at 6, and out at the North Course on Tuesday nights, tournaments at 7, practice at 6. And for those of you who don't play, remember, each week you can turn in Sunday evenings at 8:30 on Channel 10 to watch the highlights of these tournaments out south. So once again, on behalf of Mike and Dave, this is Kevin Krajewski saying, have a good night.